So good morning. This morning and for the whole ceremony, I have written down at the top of my itinerary the words "love is the answer," and I'm really feeling that, especially with the ceremony we're going to be doing later for the very first time, that our focus today should be to go into a state of love, to let the petals of our heart open and open and open with everything that we do, be it the breathing techniques or the ceremonies for the earth, the Belvaspata, with all of the angel gods that we call upon. So we're going to focus our attention on our heart chakra. I can already feel it from everybody here. As we open and open and open and open. To include all of life. To include that which we reject, which we object to, as well as that which is easy for us to love. And we allow ourselves to expand out through all our households, our neighborhoods, our counties and countries, and to let us form a shield of love all around our beautiful planet. Love is the answer. We call upon the presence of Almin, that all that we may do may be in alignment with infinite intent. We call forth our beloved Earth to be a recipient of the healing of illusion, so that she may rise with us as the eagle. We dedicate this ceremony to her and to our beloved Sergei and Marion, that they may be blessed, uplifted and healed, and to all our beloved original ones and human brothers and sisters at this time, as we form together a field of healing, a field of hope and joyful anticipation of a beautiful new and eternal dawn. To the Infinite Mother, we express our deeply felt love, praise, gratitude, trust, and hope that can never be extinguished. If you have the sigils for love, praise, and gratitude, and trust and hope, you can sign them now. And if you don't, that's okay. We can just visualize them. We have signed them so many times. Love, praise, gratitude, trust, and hope. We're going to begin our ceremony now by doing together the light explosions, starting with red. So for anybody who's new, who hasn't done this before, you just envision these colors. There are qualities to be lived, which you can follow in some of the earlier videos. You probably find them on the diary. You will find them on the diary. Okay, and these are red. So we're going to imagine red and explode it out, form a shield around us. Magenta. Amethyst. Golden yellow. Turquoise. Emerald green. Sky blue. Violet. Amber. Apple green. Aquamarine. Peach. Indigo. And that beautiful pearlescent white, which forms a shield around all of the other colors. And as we envisage this color and all the others, we imagine it forming a shield around our whole planet. We are completely impervious to all hostile and invasive intent. So I'm going to hand you over to Jane now. As you probably know, we're going to be doing level 4 of Arasatma breathing techniques. We've done the 3 levels prior to that. And if you feel that you're not ready for it, you can do one of the previous levels while we're doing this one. The music is the same. So this is a challenging one, and I'm really grateful to Jane for taking the time to embrace it and embody it as much as she can.
Okay. Hello, welcome everybody. We're on the great adventure of the Arasatma breaths, the 12 breaths of proxy. And these are specific breathing techniques to cleanse radiation from the body, and by proxy to cleanse radiation from the waters of the earth. So I'll just go through a little bit here from the Sacred Breaths text, just to provide us with the kind of wonderful context for this. Okay, so from the long forgotten northeastern lands of Lemuria, called Barak-Stan, come symbols of power. These ancient symbols, once used for water magic, create a link between the one and the many. This link allows the purification of the body to become a powerful proxy for the waters of the earth. So we have already studied the 34 concepts, which provide the necessary perception to help effect a profound but subtle change in the clarity and purity of our emotions, which is a prerequisite for cleansing the fluids of the body. So those concepts are amazing, really, but we won't go into them now. And I'm just going to first, we have a wheel, the wheel of purification, which cleanses radiation from the bloodstream to cleanse the radiation from the waters of the earth. So I will just call on that wheel and ask it to become large beneath our bodies and to move upwards through our bodies, performing its purification and then releasing through the tops of our heads. Wheel of purification. This is the wheel of purification here in the text. Yeah, that's that comes together with the concepts. Okay, but just to provide a sort of a basic. Now, so radiation in various forms tends to accumulate in women's mammary glands and in the men's prostate glands. So these breaths are designed to purify these particular organs, but also other centers in the body. And definitely water intake is increase your water intake when engaging with these breaths, because there's definitely a sort of a detox process that goes on. And again, just to say, so the power of the one is the fragrance alchemy oil that Almin has recommended in recent times to support the breaths of Arasatma. Okay, so we have 12 breaths, 12 actual sets of breath, 12 breaths with 12 breaths within each one. So that's actually, is that 144 breaths? So that's sort of an alchemical equation there in itself. The first 6 breaths, we're actually going to be in a sitting position. And then the second 6, we're going to be lying down. Some of the movements are quite subtle, and you know, we just have to kind of go with that. Okay. And okay, so I'm just going to start now with the first breath, which is called Shez Su Anan. This is the breath to cleanse the valves of the body. Okay, and you're going to be sitting with the soles of your feet together for this one. Spine straight and just facing forward. Okay, we're going to be using the index fingers and the thumb. So we're pressing here with the index fingers just on the side of the bridge of the nose and pressing on the temples with your thumbs. And you maintain this posture or this position of the hands and fingers for all 12 breaths and maintaining a steady pressure. Okay, so it's breathe in deeply and then breathe out in short staccato breaths. Okay, as you breathe in, you will have your hands in position, obviously. And you're going to be arcing forward in a sporadic, oh no, where's my hand? Yeah, so breathe in deeply, and then as you breathe out, you're arcing forward in short, jerky movements, and your breaths are staccato. I'll just do one thing there now, just to show you. Okay. So it's going to be like this, okay? All right, so 12 of those in and out breaths. Okay. So breathe in, as you breathe out, go forwards, short staccato movements and staccato breaths. Okay, and straighten up on the in-breath. Okay, Joanne, I think we can go with the music. I hope everyone is okay with that. Oh, and as we just call on Almin to be present to support us with this purification process. And of course, that the power of the one, the infinite breath, just flow through us, supporting the fluidity and smoothness and ease of our movements and our breaths as we go through this. And we are doing this as a proxy for all life on Earth at this time. Okay. Okay, let's move to the second breath. It is called Varanang Surat. The breath to cleanse the lymph terminals. Okay, and in cleansing the lymph terminals, we are really supporting the immune system. And just to say about the lymph system, you know, is like the second circulatory system, but it doesn't have a pump. You know, the blood circulation system has the pump, the heart has the pump. So the lymph system does not have a pump. So it is up to like movement. It is movement in the body and breathing, actually, which stimulates good flow of the lymph. And good flow of the lymph is really essential to the working of the immune system. Okay, so now this time, so we're in the same posture, sitting, feet together, head forward, hands this time resting on your thighs, fingers relaxed. Okay, so this time we're going to be tapping here on the chest with three fingers, so like this. So we're stimulating the end terminals of the lymph. Okay, so like this, all right? Now, so this time on the inhale, the head goes back, mouth slightly open, so like this, right? And you hold the breath for as long as you can. And then you have a forceful exhale of breath and the head returns. Let's just do that one more time. Okay. So we're breathing in, head goes up, and we start tapping, holding the breath. And then forceful exhale and head to the chest and hands down. Okay. Right. So breathe in, hold. Okay. Okay. Right. So let's go. So again, 12 breaths. Baranang Surat, the breath to clear the lymph terminals. Okay, now for the third breath, Bishete Nanu Sang, the breath to cleanse the muscles of the ribs. So this time we're sitting in the same position, but with our legs crossed. So just the usual crossed legs sitting position. And you will have your hands on your thighs to start and just facing forward. Okay, so what have we? The in-breath is long and smooth. And as you breathe in, your arms arc out into a V shape. So like that. Okay. And you're going to hold that for 5 seconds. And then you will have a long, smooth out breath. As your arms go up, your head and eyes will also go up to about 3/4 of what you can, how far you can go. Okay, so you're not over making too much effort there. The out breath is long and smooth, and you release all the breath. And then you wait for 5 seconds before you take the next breath in. Okay. So we're sitting cross-legged. Like this. Okay. So breathing in. I haven't got enough room actually. Breathe in. Sorry, let me start again. Breathe in. And wait for 5. Okay. So breathe in. Arms go up into the V. Shoulders need to be back. Hold the breath for 5 seconds and then arc back down, releasing all of the breath and wait for another 5 seconds. So it's 5 seconds, 5 seconds. All right. So that's kind of it. Okay. Okay. So long, smooth in breath and long, smooth out breath. Okay. Let's go. The breath. This is the breath. Bishete Nanu Sang, to cleanse the muscles between the ribs. So gentle stretch in the chest muscles and shoulders by keeping the arms as far back as possible when your arms are extended upwards. I'm just going to sit like this now so that I have enough space. Breath 4. Barushang Xianing. So this time again, you're sitting, legs crossed, and starting with your hands relaxed, palms up on your thighs. This time, we're isolating the movement of the rib cage. Okay, so that is really the only thing we want to move, if possible, okay, or as possible. So as you breathe in, you're just want your sternum and rib cage to move forwards as far as possible. So imagine your sternum just being pulled forwards as if a string, you know, it were attached to a string and someone was pulling it forward. Okay. And then as you breathe out, you want to move the rib cage back as far as possible. And you're breathing out in short staccato bursts, and your head goes to your chest. So let's just try that. Okay, so we're here. This is our basic position, cross-legged, feet here. We're starting off here. So chin level to the floor. So breathing in and imagining your rib cage being pulled forwards. So short staccato breaths out as you feel your rib cage going backwards as far as possible. Now, I can't exactly demonstrate this, but it's something so you will feel. And you just, you know, it can be quite difficult to isolate the rib cage. I find it challenging. So some people may find it challenging, but you just do allow the music and the breath to guide you. And yeah, okay. So rib cage directly forwards and then back, head to the chest. Okay. So this is the breath to cleanse the membranes of the lungs. So 12 times. Now for breath 5, Vivesak Urutu, the breath to cleanse the diaphragm. So again, this time we're sitting with our feet together. Now it doesn't say soles of the feet together, so I'm just going like this, my feet side by side, my hands grasping my knees. Okay, so that is the starting point. Again, we're focused on the rib cage, and the rib cage this time is doing like a kind of, it's like a watermill wheel. As you breathe in, the rib cage moves back and then arcs up and then forward and down on the out breath. So breathing in, it moves back, up and forward and down on the out breath. So like this, okay? Firstward back, up, forward and down. And so you can even just visualize that kind of watermill just in your rib cage. That will kind of help to get the correct kind of, so it's a circular motion in and out. Okay, so 12 breaths. Is there anything else? No, that's it. Okay, so in breath, starting back, up. So this is cleansing the diaphragm. Breath 6, Shihet Anunasang, the breath to cleanse the band of internal organs below the rib cage. Now, this is exactly the same as the previous one, but the sort of watermill is going in the opposite direction. So as you breathe in, you're pushing the rib cage forward and up, and as you breathe out, it's going backward and down, forward and up, backward and down. Okay, Shihet and Nuna sang, the breath to cleanse the band of internal organs below the rib cage. Okay. So from here on, you can get into a lying position. So just lying on your back with your arms and hands relaxed by your side, facing upwards. Okay. So you can just remain in that lying position through them now if you feel comfortable. So our first focus when we're lying down is the gastrointestinal tract. It is eknetnut jinavane, the breath to cleanse the gastrointestinal tract. This time the breath is focusing in the abdominal area. Again, it's a movement that, you know, if you practice it, you will become more skilled at it. Okay. So it is a circular breath within the abdomen, and you're smoothly rolling the belly, you know, as you do, well, in a vertical circle. Yeah. So the in-breath starts off low down in the abdomen, where you're going to make an arc of contraction. So flattening your belly back towards your backbone to your spine. So you're making a hollow and bring it up to the diaphragm. And then as you breathe out, you extend your abdomen in an arc from the diaphragm down. Okay, so breathing in, you're pulling in your abdomen back to the spine, up to the diaphragm. Breathing out, extending the abdomen outwards in an arc from the diaphragm down. Okay, so it's a circular movement, in and up, out and down. So from the lower abdomen to the diaphragm. Okay, so smoothly rolling the belly in a vertical circle. Okay, Let's go. If you need something under your knees when you're lying down, you could always place a cushion, you know, if you find it a little bit difficult. Or even bend your knees, though she doesn't say that in the instructions. Now, breath 8, Pruhasanum. This is the breath that clears the navel, the source of neediness. So again, remain lying down. This time you can specifically bend your knees. So our in-breath is a long, deep breath into the lungs. And then the out-breath is seen as a short burst of breath out of the navel, as if you're popping the cork on a champagne bottle. The hips will slightly rise off the ground as you do the short burst out. And you can extend the abdomen to emphasize that as well. Okay, breathe deeply into the lungs, and then the out breath is at the navel, extending the abdomen, popping the cork on a champagne bottle, and slightly lifting the hips off the ground as you release the out breath. The extension of the stomach is rapid, okay? Rapid extension, because it's a pop. So your knees are meant to be up now for this one. Okay? It'll give you more focus in the abdomen. Breath 9. Peshanang Jihani, the breath to clear the reproductive system. So remain lying down, hands by your side, palms facing up, and with your knees bent. So this time it's divided into 6 and 6, okay? So you're going to be lifting the hips off the floor. I'll just show you. Oh yeah, just like this, okay? Lifting your hips off the floor. And as you breathe in for the first 6 breaths, what we're making is a horizontal figure 8. Okay, so breathe in, the left hip goes down and back up. And then on the out breath, the right hip goes down and back up. Okay, so each time, in breath, out breath. Left goes down and back up. Right hip goes down and back up. So a smooth figure 8 for each in and out breath for the first 6, starting with the left hip going down on the inhale. When you get to the 6th breath, excuse me, at that point, you, instead of dropping the right hip, you hold it in the middle for the exhale. And then basically you're swapping over for the last 6 breaths. The right hip on the inhale, the right hip will go down and back up. Left hip, yeah, exactly, on the exhale, okay? Right? So first 6, the right hip goes down and back up on the inhale. Did I just get that wrong? Okay, let me try again. For the first 6, on the inhale, the left hip goes down and back up. And on the exhale, the right hip goes down and back up. So it's a smooth flow, okay? Breath 6, the exhale takes place just in the middle, and then you swap over. Right hip down on the inhale and back up, okay? So you're making a figure 8 with your hips. Okay, let's go with this. Peshanang Jihani, the breath to clear the reproductive system. Now for breath 10, Kina Ne Atyang, the clearing of the root chakra and buttocks muscles. Again, remain lying down with your knees bent. Now we have a slow, deep in breath, and you're going to raise your hips and tighten your buttocks and hold for 5 seconds. Okay, so the amount at which you raise your hips, depends really on you. Okay, so raise hips and tighten buttocks and hold that breath for 5 seconds. On the exhale, it's a rapid exhale, dropping the hips and pelvis to the floor. And then you relax completely, relax all tension. So release the breath rapidly and forcefully, dropping your hips and buttocks to the floor, releasing all tension. Okay. Slow, deep in breath, raise the hips, tighten the buttocks, hold for 5 seconds. Rapid, forceful out breath, dropping the hips and the buttocks to the floor and relaxing completely before the next breath. So you really only need to lift it up just that you can feel, tightening of the buttocks muscles. Okay, so if you're ready now, we'll go on to number 11. Aze Vanastan, a breath to clear the hip joints and thighs. So remain lying down again with your knees bent. This time, though, you're going to have your feet together and your hips off the ground. Okay, so like this. Okay. So this movement with the breath and the body is like the wings of a resting butterfly. So as you breathe in, the hips will move up and the knees will move apart, okay? And as you breathe out, the hips will drop down slightly and the knees will come together a little bit more. So the movements and breaths are smooth and resemble the pulsating movements of the wings of a resting butterfly. So we just do it. Yeah. Breathe in, the hips will drop. Like this. Oh yes, you're off. So you remain off the ground for the entire movement. Okay. So breathe in, the hips will move up, and then breathe out. The hips drop down, and the knees come a little bit closer together. Breathe in. Okay, so you're like this way, the wings of a butterfly. Okay, let's begin. So I hope you're enjoying that one. And now we're on to the last breath, Chabaruk Mishangve, the breath to release heavy metals from the bloodstream. So remain lying flat on your back, legs and arms straight and relaxed, and have your eyes closed for the duration of this breath. So this is the shaking breath. You breathe in deeply, and while holding your breath for as long as possible, shake the body from head to toe without changing position. This is done by shaking various muscle groups, such as the thighs, the calves, and buttocks, for instance. Okay. And then breathe out in a long sigh and completely relax the body between breaths. Okay. So breathe in deeply. And while you hold the breath for as long as possible, shake, but maintaining in general your lying down sort of position, you know. And then breathe out, long sigh, and completely relax. So repeat this for 12 times. The shaking should create small enough movements that you do not injure your neck or any other muscles. Now, you know, I've never really seen anybody else do this. I've just done it myself. And probably every time I do it, it arises a bit differently, you know. So just go with the breath and see what happens. Okay. So the last breath, Chabaruk Mishangve, the breath to release heavy metals from the bloodstream. So 12 times.
Jane,
Yeah.
did you mean to go off camera?
You know, I
You
actually
did?
decided I
Okay,
did
that's
actually.
no problem.
Yeah. Just I
Okay,
think, you know,
yep,
everybody can just do this in their own way.
sure.
Yeah. last one. I see magnolia there. Yes, indeed. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Selma, I see your note there. It's, you know, it's a great opportunity to do it together. Just something I heard Almeen say about this particular breath sequence just in passing at a retreat was that it was particularly good for, like, if you felt that your you know, expression of godhood, or just, you know, your, where you're trying to live your life, you know, as a God being on earth, that if you felt that your expression was, you know, infiltrated in some ways by the human paradigm, that actually this sequence of breaths kind of clears, because it clears that. So it will kind of clear your godhood of just infiltration from, you know, human beliefs and values. So which can be, that's great, obviously. I just want to read a little bit from just the closing section here. Just so we are living in exciting times, full of wonder and magic, and the greatest of opportunities to profoundly and beneficially impact global life. So the human race is being evolved into a more highly developed state of being, one in which illness is a mere reminder of unexpressed portions of ourselves. These reminders become more painless and transient as we learn to acknowledge and respond to them as masters of the quality of our journey. As the few take responsibility for the cleansing of the bloodstream by purifying the emotions and thereby cleansing the environment, they become unaffected by radiation. As with all illusions that appear to affect us, we use the tools of power to eliminate them. So we have a lot of tools of power available to us, including this. It can be asked that if we create our realities by what we emphasize and focus on, will engaging with illusion not ultimately enforce its presence? The answer to the seeming contradiction of getting rid of some illusion, like radiation, even though we know it does not exist, lies in the following realizations. Our focus should not be on the radiation as we do the breaths, but on the eternal newness of our being. As we hold the vision of our indestructible and timeless existence while doing the breathing techniques on behalf of the many, we are able to lessen the effects of the illusion for them as well. Any pollution or disease is a reminder to allow the unexpressed portions of our being to come forth. We engage with these signals as though they are real, just long enough to ascertain the next step in the dance of life. We then shift our focus to the new expression we have awakened on our never-ending cosmic dance. Then, in the aftermath of the atomic bomb of Hiroshima, it was discovered that 3 people who had been near the blast were completely unaffected by the radiation. In subsequent studies, certain commonalities in their diet, like ginseng, were discovered, but others who had perished had used them too. The hidden truth behind this miracle is that they had become sovereign in the knowledge that their being has always existed and was completely unable to be affected by the world as a mirrored reflection around them. So that is very pertinent closing there from Almeen, and very relevant to this time. Now, we're just going to do one. So the Nevi-Satma breaths come from the come from, well, what is called Book 2 of the Arasatma, the Arasatma breaths. The other part of Book 2, or Section 2 of the book, it deals with the food wheels. So the 5 wheels, one of which actually clears radiation. And then finally, we have the sigils for the purification of linear time. So they're found on page 202. And we're just going to go through those now, because they also seem very powerful in this moment, powerful and relevant.
Jane,
Okay.
can I just
Yeah.
say, I don't know, but in my book, just in case anybody has a different edition or whatever, my book, it's 216, page 216, for anybody who
Oh,
has the book.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, oh, it or 216, really.
yeah, in my
Okay.
book, yeah.
So what I'm looking at just the PDF. Actually, I don't have the book.
Oh, okay.
So I have the PDF, and it's page, I said 202, but actually they read them kind of differently. On the actual text itself, it's page 192. Anyway, well, I hope everyone has found it. If you don't have it, that's okay. You can just listen and we will, experience them together. Okay. So, yeah. Or, Joanne, do you want to do them with me?
I
We,
don't mind, yeah.
yeah, we sort of share them? I
Okay,
think
you just tell
that would
me
be
when
great.
to take over and yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll do the first set of 3, the
Okay,
first page. Okay.
okay.
Is that
Sure.
kind of
Yeah,
clear?
no
Yeah. We'll
problem,
just
no
sort
problem.
of. Okay. Sigils for the purification of linear time. Okay. So the first one is for the removal of empowerment through proximity. For the removal of influence through arrogance due to a sense of entitlement. For the dissolving of old hierarchies and their cosmic influences and tyrannies.
For the dissolving of old unholy alliances of control and personal aggrandizement. For the removal of hierarchies based on sequences of creation. For the removal of governments designed to undermine, obscure, and disconnect life forms from source.
For the removal of future schemes and strategies to seize control. For the removal of the bondage of black magic to blind and control cosmic beings. For the removal of all plans and mechanisms to bring back old stories and dreams of the past.
For the removal of brainwashing and all controlling strategies of greed, fear, pain, protectiveness, anger, and guilt. For the removal of the hostile influences of the super gods and primary gods. For the removal of the ability to disseminate untruth about the source of existence.
For the removal of the web of existence and the dissolving of old matrices of all types of subversive control. For the re-establishment of the recognition of the purity of the infinite. For absolute trust in the benevolence of the expression of the infinite being, even when not understood.
For cooperative expression of the unimpeded flow and emphasis of infinite intent. For the replacing of old masculine hierarchical regimes with power through merit. For the advent of the reign of peace and joy of the embodiment of the infinite being and the establishment of inspired dynamic balance.
So while holding the vision of this, the advent of the reign of peace and joy of the embodiment of the infinite being and the establishment of inspired dynamic balance. With love, praise, and gratitude in our hearts, we can just close now this section of our work together.
The end.
The end.
The
Exactly. I didn't. Were there any in the chat? Was there anything like questioning, or maybe we could just check later? But any questions?
Selma, powerful and especially timing words from Almeen, totally, in her level 4 L4 closing statement. Yeah, absolutely. Blessings and thanks. Interesting about rare unaffected Hiroshima survivors. I thought that was amazing. Since a recent OO post recorded referencing the dark alien forces behind that atomic bomb. It's quite profound, quite profound.
Yeah,
I actually have to say thank you so much, Jane, for that, because I actually have never done level 4 myself before either, and I found it profound, really profound. I could feel areas like even particularly my lungs actually that needed to be kind of released, and so I think it's incredibly powerful, and it's not an easy one to kind of communicate. So I really appreciate everything, the work you did to
Anyway,
lead us
I'm
through it.
glad
Thank you.
we were able to do it. So, and of course, I feel I've only started on it. I have done it quite a lot back in the whenever when it was
when it came out first. Yeah,
when it came out first.
Yeah, I did the first couple of levels actually, but it didn't even occur to me. I didn't realize there were other levels, and then I discovered the book. Anyway, because initially we got PDFs. Yeah, but thank you. Yeah,
thank you everybody. Okay.
So what else have I to say? I know there was something else, and now I can't remember. So we're going to take a short break, literally 10 minutes, and when we come back, we're doing the ceremony, the first, let me see, I'll get it up here, the Mishpah Terasat ceremony. And for that, you need the 20 goddess archetypes, the printed out. So if you're going to be lying down, the first of them, they're in order 1 to 20. The first of them will be behind your head if you're lying down, or if you're sitting up, the number 1 will be in front of you, and you create a circle around you, a sacred space really. And then you also have the, what are they? The stack. Just bear with me now for 1 second while I get it. Hang on. So the stack, the order of the stack, you might want to set this up now. So just go through it really briefly. So the bottom of the stack is the wheel of merging realities. On top of that, you place the wheel of the rhino's gate, then the wheel of the lion's gate, then the wheel for cleansing or for clearing the navel area and purification of the life force center. On top of that, you place the sigil for the real high heart, then the wheel of the 300 Lemurian angel gods. On top of that, the wheel for the 144 tones of purity, and then the 144 tones of clarity. So just one more time. Bottom of the stack, wheel of merging realities. Above that, wheel of the rhino's gate. On top of that, wheel of the lion's gate. Then the wheel for clearing the navel area and purification of the life force center. Then the sigil for the real high heart. Then the 300 Lemurian angel gods, the 300 Atlantean angel gods, the 144 tones of purity, and the 144 tones of clarity. And if you happen to have the oils, the God blend and the Goddess blend, the God blend, you place a drop of it on the crown of your head, and the Goddess blend you place on the soles of your feet. So have a cup of tea, and if you haven't set up the space, maybe just do that quickly now, and we will see you in 10 minutes. Thanks, everybody.